Alright, I'm going to do a Thai curry today, Thai green curry. Haven't done one of these for a long time, but it's your kind of classic kind of way of doing it. You've all seen it, Jamie Oliver and all that, just making up a paste. Coriander, chilies. I do have some lime leaves, actually, watch this. I do have lime leaves, but they're about 100-year-old. They don't have a sell-by date on them. I really need to get some more. I mean, these will be probably 10 years old, more than that even. Lime leaves, oh, some chili. I didn't get fresh chili, I'm just going to use chili flakes. Have I got any? I've got some, yeah, that's one. Okay, so it's basically just chucking a whole load of stuff into the food processor. I'm supposed to take these wee stalks off the lime leaves, it's a bit stringy. But I just basically chuck a load of stuff into the food processor, blitz it up, coconut milk, and then whatever you want to have with your curry. Actually, I won't use that one, I'll be hygienic. Obviously chicken's very good, but you can basically use this sauce that I'm going to make with anything. Prawns, even beef, pork, chicken. I'm just going to do vegetables today. I'm not even going to bother with rice. I'm just going to come for a bite. I'm just going to I'm going to put some potatoes into it. So I don't have any fresh chilies. I'm just going to put a few dried chilies into it. That's just normal crushed chilies. I'll put them in one of these jars. These are Aleppo chilies. Somebody gave me these Aleppo chilies. Again, just another wee flavour of dried chili. So chili and lime. So they'll sell you two lemongrass. I reckon I'm just going to use one, and that looks fine. I'm not even going to dropping stuff to that. I'm not going to even bother. Tell you what, because I dropped that wee bit there. This plastic tub is handling really good. It's really handy. What I'll do is I'll do kind of 1.5, and what you can use that for, I'll keep that, you just kind of give it a bash and put it in your rice as you're cooking up rice, and that's a good use for that, because it's kind of something, you know, what else do you use that for, kind of thing. Cook it up with some rice. Garlic. Quite a few cloves would be enough. They peeled each other, so yeah, that should do it. Away from me. I just can't believe after having cooked in restaurants and cooked at home for so many years that I've only just thought of this container for to put rubbish into. It's just so flipping good. Ginger and lemongrass kind of taste quite similar. So if you haven't got a lemongrass, you could just put a wee bit more ginger in. It's got wax on it. Just going to pull some of the zest off the, just some of it, maybe not all of it. You don't tend to get seeds in the limes, but you do tend to get them in the lemons, obviously. I wonder what the reason for that is. I wonder why you don't get seeds in the limes. I think it's something to do with a particular kind of strand. They all kind of come from the same bread strand of fruit that doesn't have seeds. And they obviously haven't sorted that out with lemons yet. So, and it's just because I've got these lemons and limes lying around that I'm just going to use that. Seeds in that. Okay. Spring onions don't look great, but started getting the supermarket home delivery, so I didn't choose these, but they'll be fine. Put a load of them in. Should probably wash them, they might be a bit gritty inside. And we'll just stick an whole bag of coriander. Actually, before I do that, so coriander, and I've got a load of parsley as well. It's just parsley. I did order a basil, but they didn't have any basil, so just go through it. So we've got garlic, ginger, lime leaves, fennel. What am I talking about? Sorry, I'll start again. Garlic, ginger, lemongrass, lime leaves, chilies, an onion, which the spring onion, and coriander. Always remember 7 ingredients. So that's your 7 ingredients. And a packet of basil in there as well would be great. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of all these kind of quite fresh herby, nice things. Add and remove. And again, quite a good way of using up all these kind of things, you know. We'll have that courgette. And I've got some potatoes. I think I'll put the potatoes into it rather than what do you call it, making some rice. And I've got my tin of coconut milk. Here's my big pot. So what you can do with this paste is you can, if you're making chicken, you can mix up this paste and you can marinate the chicken in it. Otherwise, this method is the same for anything else. You don't have to do it, but it's the same method for anything at all. Actually, we'll put some bits and pieces in it as well. I've got a bit of I'm using light soy sauce. If you put dark, it kind of makes it very dark. The final kind of final result, the final sauce, it makes it a bit too dark. So put a wee bit of soy sauce into it. It's your saltiness. And I'll put a wee bit of, not hugely keen on the fish sauce, but we'll put a wee bit of fish sauce into it. Do you think that goes out of date? Or does it last forever? Okay, my fish sauce ran out 3 years ago. January 2016. Sorry, 4 years ago actually, we'll stop with that. Yeah, I may need to get a different fish sauce that's not 4 years out of date. But it's a preserving kit, I'll leave that out. Get quite a strong whiff of that actually. It's maybe it's a wee bit, it's a little bit off. When you put the liquids in, it helps to break it right down into a paste. Blender and stuff is good for this as well. It's just when you get the jars, you know, they can have all kinds of weird things in them, padded out with vegetables and stuff, green beans and all this. If you make it yourself, obviously you know what's in it, and you can get your organic, free-range stuff and all that to put in it. You can get the best quality you can afford. Some places would have you frying this paste, but I don't really like to fry it because of all the herbs that are in it. If you fry it, you kind of lose, it cooks out the flavour of the coriander and the parsley and basil if I put it in. So while I'm putting it into this pan, I'm going to just put the coconut milk straight in before it starts frying. Sugar as well, I might want to put in a wee bit of sweetness. My cat is going to, he's going to come over. He's going to get all excited when I open a tin. Because when I open a tin, see what I mean? When I open a tin, he thinks it's tuna. And he would actually kind of probably quite like this coconut milk, so I do have to show it to him and prove to him that it's not tuna. And I would say don't fry the paste, and I'm actually starting to fry it. This is going to burst out, isn't it? It's not tuna, I'm afraid. Okay. So that's basically it. That's your basic kind of starting point. And you can pretty much chuck in anything you want to that. And I'm just going to throw in vegetables basically. And I'm going to put some potatoes in, and I reckon that will thicken it out a wee bit, and means that I don't need to have rice. I can just kind of crush down some of the potatoes and thicken it a wee bit. Whisk into that. We'll just bring that to the boil and then we'll taste it. Vegetables, I'm just going to put in some. Again, just basically anything out the fridge that you've got. Pretty much any vegetable at all. But you're thinking about cooking times, so I'm going soft vegetables. So although there are potatoes, I'm kind of contradicting myself. You're not putting turnips in and parsnips and swedes and that kind of thing. You're kind of keeping them all soft vegetables, although I am going to put some potatoes into it. And frozen things, I'm going to put some frozen things. I've just happened to have this cabbage. It's maybe not the best thing to be putting into it, but just break up the coconut. So when you taste this now, you're thinking about kind of sweetness and saltiness. Does it need more salt? Probably not. I live on my own, so I can put the spoon in twice. Lots of zest from the does that need sugar? Might do with a wee bit of sugar. Look at that, looks like a painting or something. So, I mean, I'm only just using this because I've got it basically. And just shove your ingredients. I'm not going to fry anything. Cabbage will take a wee minute longer than the courgettes. It's a wee bit wet, that will leave that out. Oh, I don't know if I'll use that. Actually, potatoes will probably take the longest. I'm just going to turn that right down. Go fairly small with the chunks of potato. And once these cook, you'll be able to kind of just crush a few of them down, and that'll thicken it up a wee bit. if the purple will make it go a weird colour. Would have obviously liked to use green cabbage, but I'm just using what I've got. Cool. Give that a minute. So again, you just don't want to see these potatoes, perfectly good. They haven't sprouted, nice and hard, and they are quite old. I don't see that. You think the date will be there? I don't see it. These will be well past their sell-by date, but because they're kept nice and dry, in the bottom of the fridge and wrapped up like that, nice and tight, they'll last quite a lot of days past their sell-by date, no problem at all. I'll just put this through the dishwasher. So basically once these potatoes are cooked, it's done. I'm going to chuck in a few other wee bits and pieces. That should thicken up nicely. Crank that right up. These frozen peas and sweet corners is really useful. I'm putting them in rice and stuff, cooking up with pasta and everything. Just really good, you know, just to they're kind of always there, you know, they're always to hand, always ready to use. It's a wee bit damp, we'll just leave these out, and then that's it basically. Is that it? Is that all I was going to add? I think so, yeah. So we'll just chuck that courgette in as well. Just chuck it all in, stick a lid on it. So obviously, basically anything you could chuck into this at all. Any meats, any fish, prawns. I was going to get some fish, but then I thought I've got things like that cabbage in there already, so I didn't bother. Would that be vegan? Probably, yeah. Think of fish sauce. Apart from the fish sauce, it would be vegan. But yeah, so that's it. Just make up the paste, coconut milk, and then just chuck in anything you want, basically. Anything at all. Anything kind of works nice with it. Purple cabbage will make it go a weird colour, but doesn't matter. And basically I'm just going to cook that until everything's soft. Until the potatoes are soft, and you know, that's basically it. Got a feeling I've forgotten something. I didn't put any sweetener in it, but things that I dropped today. That's really good. Certainly salty enough. With the fish sauce and the soy sauce, It's certainly salty enough. I think it's fine. I don't think it needs any sweet. You can add some sugar. I had palm sugar, but I threw it away. It all kind of went weird after a long time. Bung a bit of sugar in if you want, but I think that's fine. So I'm just going to simmer that now until everything's soft, and we shall come back in a few minutes. What's that, 20 minutes or so? I kind of thought the potatoes would cook a wee bit quicker than that, but I'm kind of quite hungry. I want to eat. I want to crack on and eat this. Potatoes are still quite kind of hard. I thought they would kind of soften a bit more, but maybe they don't. So you may want to parboil the potatoes. Because they're still quite hard. But it tastes very nice. Take this off the heat now. And I mean, you could put rice with this, but because of the potatoes, I'm not going to bother. I kind of. I was going to just use a fork and crush them down a wee bit. But yeah, basically, making up that kind of paste, and then putting the coconut milk in, and then basically just shoving into it anything you want. That's just a load of vegetables, works nicely. But you know, prawns, fish, any meat, beef, chicken, pork, anything at all, any vegetables you like. Yeah, see, these potatoes are quite hard. They're soft enough to kind of eat, but they're still quite. I thought the coconut milk would have cooked them a wee bit better. But yeah, maybe parboil the potatoes first of all, and then they'll crush down and they'll thicken up the soup a wee bit more. I might need a spoon for that. But yeah, that's your basic idea of a Thai curry. Have it with rice as well, but because I put the potatoes, I'm not going to bother. But that's it. That's it done. I thought the potatoes might be a bit too firm, but the texture was actually really nice to eat. You could have crushed a few in to thicken it, but what I was thinking as well was if you did not put the potatoes in and you wanted to have it with rice, just get a wee bit of flour and water, whisk it and mix it up and put that in to thicken it a wee bit, and that would help it would make it better to make it a wee bit thicker, which would be good. You also get quite a lot of explosions of lime flavour from the zest, and that's really, really, really good. Yeah, that was lovely.